Hey guys, what's up today? This is Dalsu with Dalsu Plays, and another episode of Banished coming at you through the interwebs. Why not? Alright, so we got the chapel laid down, and we got it paused, and we got the cemetery laid down, and we got it paused. We got the town hall laid down. We got everything kind of laid out, which is a nice feeling, but it's going to be a long time before we have enough lumber to get all this stuff done. I guess the cemetery doesn't require lumber. We could do the cemetery right now. And in fact, I probably will do that because that's kind of important, considering people get really unhappy when deaths happen and there's no cemetery. I mean, they can't mourn the losses, I guess, of their friends and family, so they get kind of depressed. But we've got this turned on firewood right now. We actually destroyed our fire chopper last episode to make room for this town hall. I'm just a little bit concerned about the lack of people I have working as laborers right now and builders. I'm also wanting to do a thing over here with some housing, a market, possibly a barn. There's just a lot going on, and I don't have a whole lot of resources to support what I'm trying to do. I may start off this episode by just doing some cleaning up, some clearing. Hopefully we'll stay above our cap, so we have a lot of extra laborers right now. So let's go ahead and do some of this clearing away. Harvest all these trees. I know that's quite a bit. We were also wanting to take away some of the stuff that's in here so that more herbs and stuff can grow. But I'm mainly interested in the stone right now. Even though there's not a whole lot of it, I want to get what there is, because we're going to need it for a lot of different things. I'll wait for my fuel to build up a bit. It's currently set to 500. I think that's fine. And then I'll go ahead and I'll switch it back to lumber. I just want to make sure I don't run out of firewood, basically. And it may be nice to build a regular trader, so that if we have, like, you know, we have a lot of iron, or we will have a lot of iron once we get things going. I don't know why we don't have any iron right now. That's not good for our blacksmith. So I guess we will go ahead and mine some of this iron too. But I don't want to give them too many tasks to do right now, because you know what happens. If you book too many tasks, things get a little out of control, because there are no laborers to do the little delivery jobs and stuff that need to get done. Basically, everything shuts down until you get to a certain point, so... I like how this new category, dry goods, kind of separates things, but it's still a little confusing. I know mostly materials are going to be things like glass, bricks, building supplies, things such as this. But yeah, once we get up to 500, probably go ahead and switch this thing. It looks like the harvest is not even going to finish because we have so much more food than we need. So that's good news, because it's going to have our laborers do the work that we need them to do. More laborers than would otherwise be available. Let's collect this iron too. I know I've got a lot of stuff queued up right now. It's not really advisable that you do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and risk it, because I feel like I have a lot of people working on stuff right now, and I want to take advantage of it. While our food cap is still high, you can see it's just about to be under the food cap, and that means everyone's gonna go back to work. See, it just happened. Yeah, it's happening now. So we lost a lot of that extra labor force that we had, but they should be back momentarily. But yeah, this should also create some new space for, sorry about that noise in the background. This should create some new space for herbs and stuff like that. I don't know what's going on. I hear a very loud noise in the background, but please ignore it. I do not exist in a sound studio, unfortunately. Those are booked by the hour. They're very expensive. I'm not quite making it enough to justify that off of my paltry YouTube videos. Anyway, what are we going to do next? Let's see. We could turn on one of these places. I guess we could go ahead and do the cemetery. Let's go ahead and do the cemetery. We've only got one builder, but we have the stone to do it now. And I really would like to have a quarry. But we don't have any lumber. Let's... I guess this guy's not even supplying firewood fast enough, really, to reach the cap. So if we want to get both firewood and lumber, we're going to need another one of these sawmills. I could give him another worker. I don't know how efficient that's going to be, though. Let's let the cemetery finish. Let all this work get done. It looks like it is pretty much done now. And then we'll kind of see where we're at. I think we'd probably be best served by another house or two to start off with, because we haven't built much housing lately. And as you can see if you watch my top 10 tips video, you should always be putting down housing when you get a chance, because you never know, like in the future, it takes so long for the people to grow up and become active laborers. It's good to have like a steady supply. Alright, so cemetery is all ready. It's all set up. Just gonna take a minute, and I'll go ahead and throw down one more house for fun right here next to our future town hall. Alright, so we need a quarry, we need a mine, and we probably could use another sawmill, at least, in order to get those things. We're probably going to need another sawmill. So let's give a cemetery time to finish before we start building a new sawmill. Let's give that house time to finish. Let's shift some people into builders. We'll do 2 more. And then we'll also consider maybe throwing down a stockpile / market over here. I'll probably do a stockpile first. I think that's a good idea. Stockpiles build relatively instantly. So make sure it's outside of our circle here. We don't want it to be inside the circle at all. To make sure it's not well outside. And we'll do it right here on top of this stone. Do it a little bit closer in. Let's do it 7 by 7. That's plenty of space for stuff. So they'll get to that at some point. Be able to store our stuff over there, which is great, because they're going to be harvesting a lot of stuff from over there. Stone and wood and such. I wonder what my builders are doing. They're actually still working on this road. That's interesting. I did that a long time ago. Alright, well I guess there's all these little bits of road that need to be finished before they can move on to other stuff. Like she's going to build the house now. That's good. Where are my other builders? Alright, they're working on the cemetery. Fair enough. Okay. Seems like we're getting a pretty good stream of children being born and laborers and all the stuff that we need to grow our population, so I'm happy with that. But I'm not happy with the amount of firewood that this sawmill is generating. I would have thought it would have gone much faster, but it doesn't seem to be going much faster. So a second sawmill may be in the works for us. Let's let our cemetery finish. Okay, it's now finished. It's got 35 graves. Got our chapel here. We could turn it on, but then it's going to take up all of our lumber. This thing too. We'd probably rather build a quarry first and a mine first. Use our lumber for that starting off. Alright, next building here is going to be a market. See what the traders got for us. We don't have much of anything, I don't think, to trade away right at the moment. We've got a lot of firewood stored up. That's probably why we haven't gotten an excess, because we've been replenishing that. In fact, I'm fairly sure that that's why. We have bison. I don't think I'm going to take that bison right now. I'm pretty happy with the chicken. I know bison provide leather, or I would guess they provide leather. But we have leather from our hunters. Although not much, really. Not nearly enough. Last season, they provided us with a whopping 12 leather. But, you know, we have plenty of clothing right now. I think I actually would like that bison. Because by the time that they grow up and become useful to us, we'll want that leather. We can either trade away the leather or use it for clothing. But I'm not sure if I can afford this. Let's try. I mean, we have to use the firewood, of course. That's the only thing we have that's worth anything. The herbs are worth some. No, we don't have much bone meal. Reeds are fairly worthless, and the feathers are fairly worthless. But what we can do is just take 3 bison. Maybe about 20. And this is going to mean we have to totally replenish our lower this. Sorry, I'm trying to do math and talk at the same time. It's not working. This means we're going to have to totally replenish our firewood, which is going to mean that our stockpile dwindles even more. But I am going to soon build another one of these. They are cheap. They're not expensive to build. They do require a lot of just logs, but logs are something we can pretty much get whenever we want. Plenty of. Where are you here? Lumber. Sawmill, saw pit. Yeah, I mean, this one would be even better. We could do it kind of... I mean, does it have to be on the river, or could it just be on the lake? That's an interesting question. I don't think that there's a real difference. Is there? I don't know. I might just stick with a regular sawmill. I would hate to invest all that time into a water wheel that doesn't work because it's on the lake and there's no tide or current or whatever you call it when it's on a river. A flow, I guess. Yeah, a flow would be the right word. I'm just an English major. I don't know why I know these things. Why I don't know these things, rather. I guess my education has failed me. Didn't know these are actually not connected. That's going to annoy me until I fix it. So I fix it. Alright, are we ready for a market over here? Is that the next thing we want to do? 4 laborers, 3 builders. Do we do that, or do we go for another sawmill? We could put the sawmill down here. I don't see why we wouldn't. Alright, let's do this. I think we should expand our horizons a little bit. Let's do a small market. It's a pretty cheap building. We will give it a little more space because we want it. We want to be able to have housing in between the stockpile and the market. I think that'll be nice because they're going to take up all that stone as well when they're doing that. We'll get 4 houses there. We'll get the small market. And then we'll do a barn somewhere in the vicinity. And after that, we'll be able to kind of set up that area with some industry and things like that. Maybe even go ahead and put my buffalo farm down there. Why not? No, let's put the buffalo farm up here. I need to do that though, because you remember they do die if you leave them in this little pen. Learn that the hard way. We'll leave space for a road and do 11 by 11 just like we've been doing everywhere else. That'd be nice. We'll have to hire a herdsman, of course. That won't be a big deal. We need 18 builders to get all this shit done. So it's not going to happen for some time, I think. But I am going to shift maybe 2 builders into that, and hopefully a couple laborers will not be too far off. Let's see. Got an 11-year-old there. 12-year-old there. That 14-year-old ought to be ready soon. Talking about him like he's a tomato or something. Ought to be ripe soon. Ready for plucking to a life of labor. Let's see. I wonder what we can do with these gold guilders. Can we actually trade them away, or do we need that special building for that? We can't trade them away. Go ahead and bring all the gold guilders you can. How are we still out of iron when we just... Oh, we're out of actual iron. We're not out of iron ore. Keep forgetting about that. Like our cemetery is wildly popular. As cemeteries tend to be. I mean, who doesn't love spending time in them? Go ahead and put our bison there. Hire us a herdsman. That way, in the future, we'll have some leather we can make use of. We're getting a lot of eggs from the chickens. And we already have 20 chicken. So, 20 chickens, right? And here come the bison marching over. Yeah, we keep hitting our cap, and so we're not actively farming it. I do want some chicken at some point. Let's lower it to like 18. That way we'll start slaughtering chickens. And bison. This is a little bit small, don't you think? At least we know that one person can work it. Alright. So our stockpiles are a little bit slim at this point, but perhaps this one's got some stuff. That market's going to take a little time, and we're going to have to hire someone, of course. But we have 5 builders now. He's getting something to eat. Finding a tool, yeah. This is the same situation we ran into a lot on our last playthrough, where we're trying to build something a little bit far out, and so people are stopping what they're doing and going to get food way back where they live. And this guy's actually asking for 2 workers. That is kind of a tall order right now, but I guess we'll go ahead and do it. We want this new area to thrive. I'm pretty happy with this setup. I like the fact that we have a kind of central forest works here, and then we have some housing on the other side of it. This area will probably grow a lot more slowly than this area. This is going to be our central focus. So, what's next? Probably a sawmill. Probably a sawmill. I just want to keep making sure that we are kind of juggling our trade stuff very efficiently. Like, I don't want to have anything stocked up too high that's just going to get in the way over here in our storage barn. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. Also, keeping in mind that our market is going to go out and get stuff and then put it in its inventory. So I don't know why they would put logs there, I guess. Yeah, I guess the market is good for industry too. So say you have a lumber mill here that needs, or a saw pit or whatever, that needs logs to work, they just go to the market. It actually works out pretty well. Our herbalist, however you want to say it, and our forester have already moved in here. So maybe a little bit of a closer walk for them. Love to turn that road into stone at some point, but stone is a very precious commodity for us right now, so we're not going to do that. Looks like we're also running out of firewood. I guess I'll empty out some firewood. I don't need quite 500. Let's do 300. That means we're not going to be able to buy stuff. But we do have some gilder. And I'm assuming the gilder's, yeah, the gilder's worth 10. I don't know how we got that gilder. How did we get that? Does it just naturally pop up from your town? I mean, is it being collected? What's happening? Okay, we have planter arrives, and we got mulberry, which would give us the ability to do silk. Pepper, which is just your basic vegetable. Cabbage is basic vegetable. Beetroot is a basic vegetable. I believe I bought some kind of orchard seed. No, I didn't. I must not have. No, I haven't even planted an orchard yet, so I can't even tell. Without the town hall, it's kind of hard to keep track of what you've bought. But there's got to be something that I want. I definitely want to be able to make wine at some point in the future. Coffee, wow, that's new. Cotton, I definitely want. Flax is also very useful. And grapes. Say, bring those all the time. I think oranges fulfill, like, having fruit is really good. I think I might have bought pecans, but I can't remember. Tell you what, bring me some strawberry. And some wheat. Wheat is used for a lot of things. But yeah, that'll do. For now. This guy's gone and collected a bunch of stuff. But I feel good about the progress we've made this episode. I know it seems like rather slow, but, you know, these things take a little time to develop. And the name of the game when it comes to Banished is always patience. Patience is a supreme virtue in this game. It makes things turn out a lot better in the end, so we're going to continue to practice patience. I hope you will too. Hope you'll join us for the next episode. Same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Dalsu, and I'll see you next time.